Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, I'm going to be giving you a buyer beware for the content from the Los Santos Drug Wars update. What things I think you should buy, what things I think you should stay away from, and everything in between. So let's start with our cars and vehicles first, because that's going to be your biggest ticket items here. And we're going to begin on the Legendary Motorsports site, and we're going to start with the Annis 300R, which is a two-door sports car for $2,075,000. And normally, I would say that that's a pretty rich as far as prices go for vehicles, but Rockstar has put like a weird contingency on this car. It's only available through December 28th. Basically 2 more weeks. So I don't know why Rockstar decided to do this. I think this is the first time they've done this where they've made a normal, non-holiday themed vehicle basically available only for a limited time. I don't know why, and I don't know if it's going to be returning. So if you like this vehicle or like what it's based off of, which is the Nissan 350Z, which I know a lot of people are, you need to get this now. It's not going to go on sale. It's not going to get any cheaper, and it could be gone forever, which could make it one of the rarest vehicles in the game. So I would highly recommend buying that. Our next vehicle, on the other hand, I wanted to like this so bad, the Overflawed Entity MT. So not only is it really expensive, $2,355,000, it's also not that great. It has some serious performance issues, and when I drove the vehicle, it was really bumpy. Apparently, the Entity MT has the same bad handling flags that the older vehicles had, like the Entity XXR, and so it's extremely bouncy when you go over curbs or things like bumps. Kind of makes it undrivable, at least in my short experience with it. So for now, until Rockstar fixes this, and again, I wanted to love this vehicle just because it was based on some incredible Koenigsegg hypercars, I would stay away from it till Rockstar fixes this guy. Now, let's move over to the Southern San Andreas Super Sports site, and let's start with the BF Surfer Custom. Now, the one thing I will say about this, get the trade price. All the vehicles that you see so far, you can get the trade price by doing the first 6 missions of the first dose story stuff. So there's really no excuse for you to not save a couple $100,000 on each vehicle. I have it here for $442,500. This vehicle is a really fun hippie van, but it's not going to do anything really for me. I'm not going to drive it around the city. I'm not going to use it in races. It's only an upgrade if you're a big fan of the BF Surfer, because now you can actually sit 4 people in there. Our next vehicle is the Zirconium Journey 2. Now, this one also has a trade price, and this is $592,500. I think a lot of people are going to get this because of the Breaking Bad Easter eggs and references that are in this vehicle, which we'll actually talk about in a future one. But overall, I don't mind the Zirconium Journey 2. It fits 6 people, which is kind of fun, and will allow you to go on some crazy and wild shenanigans. Then we have the Declasse Tulip M100, and for me, I just can't justify spending that much money on a car like this. Yes, is it a super cool vehicle, but it really just doesn't do anything for me. You have to be a big fan of muscle cars in order to shell out that amount of money. And then by the time you get to customizing the entire thing, you're probably looking upwards of, $2 million. So it is really, really expensive. So do keep that in mind. And the only other thing I'll say about the vehicles is that there's at least 10 drip feed cars on the way. So you might want to save your money for more vehicles that are coming soon. Now, one of those vehicles is supposed to be the Brickade 6x6, which is currently available for free if you complete the first dose story missions. So I'm not going to put this on the buyer beware list. If you have the Brickade, it is one of the best vehicles in the game. I mean, this thing is a beast. It can survive 49 rockets. So that should give you an idea of just how powerful, explosive resistant, and bulletproof this car is. You need to have the Brickade 6x6, but I'm sure many of you guys by now already do, and so you won't have to purchase it. But there is going to be an option going forward to actually purchase this vehicle for $1,450,000 on the Warstock Cash and Carry site. I don't know when that's going to be. Once again, it is a part of the drip feed. And speaking of the Brickade 6x6, your second biggest purchase is going to be that Acid Lab for $750,000. And I would say buy this guy. As I talked about in my money guide video for the Acid Lab, it really does make money pretty quickly. And I would say that in just about a day's time, you can really end up getting your money back from this thing. And if you're a GTA Plus member, you get it for free. That's kind of a nice perk. But yeah, get the Acid Lab. And I would definitely recommend getting the equipment upgrade as well, something we will touch on in a future video. Now, other than that, what you're probably going to spend the most of the rest of your money on is going to be clothing. Rockstar added a lot of clothing from this update, but be wary that a lot of the items are pretty expensive. Like, just take these onesies, for example. There's 25 of them, and all of them range between $64,000 and almost $80,000. If you bought every single one, you're looking at well over $1 million that you've just spent on onesie pajamas. So keep that in mind that could get very, very pricey. There's a handful of other new items that Rockstar added, and all of them are not inexpensive, ranging from the $20,000 to the $30,000. Even fun items like new shoes such as Crocs can be kind of expensive when it's all said and done, and even boots and other items that you can have. So just keep in mind that I know you're not necessarily going to be buying everything, but if you're a big collector and connoisseur of the new clothing, it is going to put a pretty big dent in your wallet. So my recommendation is to just watch the amount of money that you spend at the clothing store. And the same can honestly be said at the tattoo parlor. There's a lot of really cool tattoos added here, as expected with kind of the Juggalo theme. But be careful because these tattoos are also very expensive. They are not cheap, sometimes $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. So just keep that in mind. Now, the only other things you need to be aware of are stuff that are currently not available to purchase right now. These are in the drip feed. Reminder that there is going to be a 50-car garage property that is added sometime in 2023. That has a pretty expensive price tag of $2,740,000 for it. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to want that. There's also going to be new weapons that are introduced in the new year. The railgun alone, $750,000, as well as a personal taxi that you could purchase. That's $650,000. So really my only advice is there is a lot coming down the pipeline. So don't essentially blow all your money right now. You kind of want to save it, or at least save some of it for the new year, because there is a lot of unreleased stuff coming in the future and in the new year. But that should give you a good idea of some of the things you probably want to stay away from in GTA Online, and some of the things that I do think are worth buying along the way. I'd love to hear from you guys, though, in those comments down below. What's your opinion on the stuff added so far from the Los Santos Drug Wars update? Good, bad, somewhere in between? Let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.